I agreed to let my cousin interview me about leaving a high-demand religion, knowing my answers weren't going to fit the story she wanted to tell. I left my church when I was 21. Not quietly, not gradually. I packed my things, stopped attending, and never went back. I don't bring it up often, but I don't hide it either. My cousin Leah is 23 now, still deeply involved, and she's studying sociology. She's writing a paper about why people fall away from faith communities, and how better outreach could prevent it. She messaged me saying she needed to interview someone who had left, and was willing to be honest. I knew exactly what that meant. Still, I said yes. We met at the library on a Sunday afternoon. She had her laptop open, a recorder on the table, and this hopeful, earnest look on her face. She started with surface questions. How long were you involved? When did you start feeling doubts? Was there a specific incident that pushed you away? I answered calmly. I told her I grew up in it, that it was my whole world, and that there wasn't one dramatic breaking point. It was more like realizing I was suffocating slowly, and deciding I didn't want to keep pretending I was fine. Then she moved into the real questions. Did someone hurt you? Were leaders abusive? Did you feel unsupported as a young woman? Was it because of rules around dating, CX, or gender roles? Each question was clearly steering toward a conclusion she already believed in. I told her no one assaulted me. No one yelled at me. No one forced me out. I left because I didn't believe it anymore. And staying would have meant lying for the rest of my life. She blinked at that, asked me to explain. I told her the truth. I said the community did exactly what it was designed to do. It provided structure, certainty, and belonging. And that was the problem. It didn't allow doubt. It didn't allow growth. I said I felt myself shrinking to fit into a version of life I didn't choose, surrounded by people who were kind but unwilling to question anything. I wasn't a victim. I was a participant who decided to stop. Leah's fingers hovered over the keyboard. She asked if better mentorship or more inclusive teachings would have helped me stay, if someone had just listened more, if leaders had modernized certain views. I shook my head. I told her it wouldn't have mattered. I said I didn't want a better version of that life. I wanted a different one. I told her I didn't leave because the rules were too strict. I left because I didn't believe the foundation was true. She pushed back gently, said belief can evolve, that doubt is normal, that people leave when they feel disconnected, not because they genuinely reject faith. I told her that might be true for some people, but not for me. I said I didn't feel lost when I left. I felt relieved. I slept better. I stopped feeling guilty for having questions. I didn't miss it. That clearly wasn't what she wanted to hear. She asked if I ever thought about going back, if I worried about my soul, if I felt empty without the structure. I said no. I said I built a life that fits me. I said leaving wasn't a tragedy or a trauma. It was the healthiest decision I've ever made. There was a long pause. Then she asked, do you think people should be encouraged to leave? I said no. I said people should be encouraged to choose honestly. I said staying out of fear is just as damaging as leaving without support. I told her I didn't need saving, and I didn't want to be used as an example of what went wrong. She stopped the recording early, said she had enough material. We packed up in silence. She hugged me stiffly at the door and said thanks. She hasn't followed up. No draft to review, no clarification questions, nothing. I heard from my aunt that Leah was frustrated because my interview didn't align with the framework of her paper, and that's fine. I didn't agree to the interview to validate her beliefs. I agreed to tell the truth. Sometimes the truth doesn't support the narrative someone is trying to build. That doesn't make it any less real.